Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How's it going on this Sunday morning? Be surprised to see how many people are up and functioning today. How are we all? I'm just doing my saging. Good morning, Carrie. Setting our intentions for the day. And then I don't know about you guys, but it's a busy day today. Good morning, Janet. Carrie, you're at work. Oh, man. I have to work later today, too, so I feel you, girl. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm just giving you a few minutes to jump on here while I sage and cleanse my space, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Just give everyone a few minutes. We moved into a new moon phase, so that's exciting. The waxing gibbous phase. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started here while other people kind of jump on and see what happens and where everything goes today. So, okay, so the moon phase, I need to stop saying new moon because that's not what we're in. The moon phase that we moved into today that changed. Good morning, Melissa. Is the waxing gibbous phase. Okay, so this is the last moon phase that we go through before we enter the full moon phase, which I'm super excited about. So it's really important to adjust and kind of refine your intentions that you're setting right now, any sort of goals that you're manifesting, any sort of changes that you want to make before the new moon. Good morning, Krista. Good morning, Gwen. So that's really important. So now is going to be the time where if you want to make any adjustments, if you want to add anything in, whatever you're ready to manifest in this last full moon of 2019, which is crazy to even say, now is the time to do that, okay? The energy is really strong right now, especially in this waxing gibbous phase. So it's all about taking this time to button up or adjust anything that you want to. Good morning, Lisa. So, really good as far as like creativity, creative energies, that type of stuff right now. To-do lists, make your lists. With the energy being this high, it's going to be really easy to kind of forget or kind of push things aside. So it's going to be important to go over your goals, pull out your journal, see what you're manifesting, what you wrote down, because some of you may be like, oh, I didn't add this in there. I want to add this in there, whatever it may be, because when we move into the full moon next week on 12/12, which I cannot wait to do that reading, you're going to be all set to go, and you're going to be all set to manifest your intentions for the end of the year and anything that you want to clear up and do. So we actually moved into Taurus as far as the moon energy. So that has to do with thyroid health, your glands, thyroid's in here, as you know. Those of you that don't have a thyroid like me, because you had to have it removed, or if you take any sort of supplements, anything like that, you're going to want to make sure you stay on top of that. As you know, thyroids control all the hormones in our body. And so when those are just a little bit off, you're going to have a hard time kind of regulating everything emotionally and physically as well. It kind of just messes and shuffles up our whole system. So that's a good thing to keep in mind as far as like making good decisions health-wise, making sure that you're taking your vitamins, and all that good stuff. So I'm not going to give you a health preach today, but it's just a good thing to remember. Try to avoid toxins. Try to get as much rest as you can, because you could feel extra, even though the moon phase has a lot of energy right now. You could be getting drained easier than normal, I guess would be the best way to put it. So that's everything that's going on with the waxing gibbous phase. This is kind of my favorite phase other than the full moon, because it's really time to bring everything together and make sure that you're ready and prepared. Get your candles for the full moon so you can light them and do your rituals, do your manifesting, setting your intentions, and really making sure that you're going to go into 2020 with a new fresh start and positive energy, and just knowing where you're headed, instead of being like, here we go into the new year, I have no idea what's going to happen. Even if you don't have any idea, let's at least set some goals as to where you want to go or where you want to be. Okay? All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our reading. I can't wait. It's pretty cool that the full moon's landing on 12/12. And then I don't know if you guys saw my post on my Facebook page, but 2019, if you do it all out numerically, equals 12 as well, the number 12. So it's literally 12, 12, 12. So, and there's 12 people in here right now, which is pretty cool as well. It's going to be a strong, strong energy day. We've got a partial eclipse going on. I mean, it's going to be good, and it's going to be powerful. So we definitely want to take advantage of those energies, even if it's just a matter of manifesting. All right. So what do our angels and guides want us to know for today, Sunday, December 8th, 2019? What do our angels want us to know for today, Sunday, December 8th, 2019? I've got a few popping out here that are jumpers. Okay, we've got the handwriting again. We've got the signature that we're waiting for. That has been jumping out a lot this week, so I know you guys are waiting on that. I know that that's a big deal. So just know that you're still being supported there, and it's coming. And then we got the fortune cookie. So this is going to be really good as far as these two going together and making sure that whatever it is that you're signing, whether it's a contract, whether it's a document, whether it has to do with something legal or career-wise, that it's going to be something that's going to benefit you. Okay? It's going to be really good for you. Right now is just a time for focus, and not sinking into any sort of preconceived, I can't speak today, feelings of how things are supposed to be. So it's a really good time to let whatever is supposed to happen, happen, and not be like, well, I wanted it to go this way, so until it does, I'm going to, step back and wait. I feel like there's like illusion going on there, so it's a matter of staying focused on what you have in front of you, because it's happening how it's supposed to. That's really weird how it's coming out, but that's literally exactly what I'm getting. So try to focus less on how you wanted the turnout to be and just go with whatever it is that's happening. Good morning, Jamie. All right, so that's really interesting how that's coming through. Let's pull our Moon Tarot deck and see what goes along with this. The energy is really interesting in here today. There's this mix of like completely exhausted and I have so much energy I don't know what to do with myself today. It's like half sleepy, half what do I do now? That's funny. So I'm going to give these a quick couple shuffles. And We'll see what we need to know here. Okay, what do we need to know for today, December 8th, concerning, there goes one flying, everything that's going on with us. As you can hear my children fighting in the background. That's what happens when we get bored, right? We argue. That's why I come into my office to do readings. That's funny. Okay. We have several that popped out here. So we're going to take these ones. I'm going to grab this one on the floor that jumped. It was the first one. So we have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Fool in reverse. So this is really interesting how this is coming through, because someone is sitting back and waiting for someone to come in and rescue them. Okay. To come in and kind of take everything over and be like, can I just hand this over to you and you can take over for me and just let me know when it's done. I very much get the feeling of whatever this is that you're going through right now, you'd rather hand your plate off to someone else, or you're waiting for someone else to kind of take over and do it for you. So it's kind of interesting how that's coming through, and that's what jumped out. So you can't always wait on someone coming through to help you in that present circumstance. Although you have a lot of support, this is something that you need to do for yourself, and something that's really going to help you figure out your confidence and where you need to go with this. So I'm really getting that you need to not be waiting for someone else to come in and take the reins on this. You really need to take charge yourself. And you are not being, let me figure out how they're putting this to me. You are not being manipulated based on the circumstances that you feel are happening. By waiting for this person, this whole game of whatever is taking so long is happening because of the universe and their timing of how they want it to go. So it's not as much a fact of like, someone is doing this to you. It's a matter of timing with the universe. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like this is really being brushed off as far as like responsibility and like spreading it around to everyone else but ourselves. But as much as we have a part in this, or you have a part in this, everything's going to come together. It's all about divine timing. And a lot of that, I mean, think of where we're at right now. We're at the very end of the year. We are in December. We're getting ready to move into the next year, and we're getting ready to move into the full moon. So, I mean, that's really interesting how that comes through. They just want a lot of more self reflection and responsibility for your part that you have to take in this. Okay. Sometimes it's a matter of how many steps you have to go through to get to this point that you already know where what you need to do, and you already know the steps you need to take. Sometimes it's just like, I know I need to, I know, but I haven't yet, like it's like this constant conversation you're having. But it's almost like you're waiting for someone else to step in and take over. Like, well, it'd be a lot easier if they just made the first move, or if they just did it, but it can't be that way. Your guides want you to step up and get the ball rolling. So if that makes sense. And then we literally got the World card. So you're in control. You have the whole world in your hands. Okay. You're sitting here balancing it, but you don't know what to do with it. So it's sitting here like, well, okay, so I have this, but can I pass this off to someone else so I don't have to be the one to like get everything started? They want you to be the one to do it though, because it has a lot to do with your self-growth and where you're going. And it's going to be like very good afterwards. You're going to be able to celebrate, and you're going to feel a lot of freedom and a lot of relief. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys or someone you're very close to. So pass the message along if you know who that's for. If it's for you, I'm glad you're hearing it, and I'm glad you're getting those little messages. And I know you guys there's a couple of you that are already like, I know. You've told me, I know, but sometimes it's just a matter of hearing it and letting it sink in a couple times to, Melissa, you're funny, to just be like, okay, you know. And some people need to hear things a few times before we get up the courage to do it. I did. I definitely did. I was the I know person for years. But until I decided I was going to make that specific move, so to speak, and find my courage and my strength, then no one was going to tell me to do it. I was the I know girl. So I understand 100%. But here's your friendly little shove from your psychic. Okay. So we will do our emotion cards. All right. So what do we need to know as far as how we're feeling for today, December 8th? We know we need a shove. We've got these two popping out right on top right here. Those are going to be our cards. They're jumping at us. And we got your commitment is being tested. Okay. That also has to do with feelings. This is literally what we just said. You're being tested. You're being pushed. I know I need to do this. That's your test. That's your push in that direction to make that decision or to take that first step. Emotions are running high. Okay, and we know this is coming, and I know we talked about this earlier. It's going to be a time of, I don't know if I can handle this, but you can. I promise you can handle it. I promise you can handle the changes. I know changes are scary. I've been a part of many of them. And I know sometimes it's a matter of putting yourself out there. It doesn't mean your whole world is changing for some people. For some people it is. For other people, it's a matter of just changing in your comfort zone, in your comfort level. So just remember that you're not alone. And we do understand like how hard it is. But imagine like how good it's going to feel when you've finally done it, where you've finally made that change. If that makes sense. Okay. So it says, what do you need to release? So interesting, right? What do you need to release and let go of to make these changes to where you're not being tested anymore, to where your emotions are feeling more in check because you've taken these steps and made these decisions that are important to do right now. Okay. All right. So I will be done with that part of it. All right. So we will do our angels and guides cards and see what all we need to know. We're not doing an energy transfer today. Surprisingly enough, it's really building for next week for the full moon. So we will do one tomorrow. But today I'm just being told to leave the energy as it is. So that's what I'm going to do and go with. And let you kind of sit and marinate with it. But if you want to do one, you can always go back and watch one of the previous videos too. Tomorrow, I have multiple different life coach appointments. So tomorrow's reading will not be until later in the day. So they're going to be more around like 3:30, 4 o'clock. So hopefully you guys can survive without me until then. It's one of those days tomorrow, guys. All right. So what do our angels and guides want us to know for today in conclusion for our reading? or December 8th, 2019. Oh, we've got some jumping here. There we go. All right. So the first one that we got that popped out is sacred space. So create an altar to connect with your God, your divine, your angels, whoever it is that you want to communicate with. So I haven't talked about this in the past necessarily. I have with some of you, but what you do when you're creating your altar or your space is having somewhere where you can have your crystals, or a specific place that you light your candles, or you set everything up. You can set your sage there. And so I have like a whole area where I have like my crystals, and I have like my little Buddhas there that have like my sage and my energy areas where I light my candles. I have mine in my main living room area. But I have them, of course, all over in my office too. So all you have to do is start small. Even if you just have, some little like palm size crystals, whatever it is, however you start out, and just to build that space where you can light a candle and do your manifesting, or feel like you can communicate with your angels and guides there. It's a space of feeling like comfortable and relaxing, where there's just good energy. And it's good to have those in the main area where everyone kind of hangs out in your house too, because that way that energy always feels good and safe and comfortable there. And then the other one says, expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers are being heard and being answered. Okay. So it's important for you to know that whatever this is that you've been praying and praying and praying and praying and praying for, and you feel like it's been constantly going on for years, everything's finally coming together. Okay. And I know we've talked about this over and over, and you guys may be getting sick of hearing me say it, but everything's going to come to fruition. And everything will happen the way it's supposed to. Everything's going to start coming together. We just have to have that little bit of more patience, knowing that with this new year coming and the freshness of everything that's going to be happening and kind of coming together, and how it's all going to work is not always up to us in our timeline, right? If it was up to us, we would have had it happen yesterday, or a month ago. It's just a matter of the specific timing that's not up to us, that's out of our hands. So just know that you're being heard. Okay. That's the really important thing. I know, Carrie, I'm sorry that you won't see me till later tomorrow. It's crazy. Other than that, I mean, I would have to be jumping on here at like 8 a.m, and I don't think you guys want to be up quite that early. So, and I would probably not be able to function as well for you. So I'm going to go finish my coffee so that I am ready for the day. And then I hope you guys all have an amazing, amazing Sunday. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for your subscribes and your likes and your shares. And for those of you that watch together at work, I love that. So I will see you tomorrow. I will post exactly when I'll be online, but I'm guessing it'll be around 3:30 or 4. And you can always watch the replay if that's like a super awkward time for you. And we'll be back to our normal schedule on Tuesday. So you guys have an amazing day. I love you all, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.